Alright, it's time for Unsolved Star Wars Mysteries recap for Book of Boba Chapter 4. Let's get into it. This time it starts with Fett having a memory of the time he saved Fennec and how they became allies. And of course, he's in the Bacta tank again. Hey, you wonder why they call it the Bacta tank? Because he's always going back to the tank. So Fett wants to get his gunship back from Jabba's palace, but there's a big problem. Tons of fucking guards everywhere, and he knows that without his armor, he can't do it alone. So he finds this chick dying in the desert and he brings her over to some mods. And I don't mean mods like the ones that ban you on forums for saying that this show sucks. I mean mods like those modified teens from last week's episode. So this clown shoves some robot shit in her and makes her part cyborg. And then she introduces herself as Master Assassin, Fennec Shand. But Boba Fett's just like, I don't care who you are, Sheila. I just want to get me shit back. They head back to the palace and try sneaking in by sewer. Crawling through shit. And eventually wind up in this kitchen where they gotta fight this droid who kinda reminds me of somebody else. Can't quite put my finger on it. Oh yeah, him! Alright, so they find the ship and Boba Fett looks like he's gonna cry. Some guards try to stop him, but Fennec takes a single shot at one of those explosive gonk droids you're always hearing about. And by sunrise, they're flying off in Slave 1. They're flying off in fire spray. Fett asks this chick where he should drop her off, and she suddenly remembers that she's a psycho who loves bloodshed, so she decides to stick around. Meanwhile, those bikers are out, cruising around and doing their thing, when Fett shows up and blows them all up with his ship in a completely unfair fight. Just kills them all. And he's not even really sure that they were the ones responsible for wiping out his village. He saw some graffiti and, there's some speculation going on here. Fennec nods at him like, yeah, good job, very honorable. And then while they're in the neighborhood, they go to fuck with the Sarlacc pit too. Why not? For some reason, Boba Dumbass over here still thinks his armor's stuck down in the pit, even though we all saw him escape from it while he was wearing the armor in Chapter 1. Doesn't he remember using the flamethrower? Fennec suggests they try to find a Bacta tank, because she says they're a convenient place to recover from injuries, and also to have long drawn-out flashbacks, like the one we're watching right now. They kinda just gloss over the fact that the most important part of all this shit, getting the armor back, doesn't even happen in this show, and you gotta watch a whole episode of The Mandalorian if you want to know the rest. So in the cantina, Black Klansman is just chilling, drinking a beer and watching these boss people gamble, and for some reason it really pisses him off. He decides to kick all their asses as Fett's walking through the front door. Garsa runs over shaking her tits around, begging the Wookiee to stop, but Black Chrysanthemum rips this last guy's arm off anyway, and then leaves. Boba follows him outside and tries having a heart-to-heart, and then offers him a new job. Back at the palace, Boba and Fennec meet with Jabba's former captains, and Boba proposes that they all work together against the Pike Syndicate in order to save Tatooine. But none of these guys really care. This one alien speaks up saying that the Pikes only challenged Boba Fett, and he's not really sure why they should all help out in what's basically a personal problem. And even though this guy is completely insignificant, knowing this dumbass show, he'll probably get his own promotional poster any day now. So Fett says, look, if you guys don't want to help, that's fine. All you really gotta do is stay neutral during the conflict. And to this they agree. Fennec tells Boba Fett that it's not really a great deal, but he's like, whatever, the episode's about to end, you got any better ideas? And she actually does. It seems like what they're gonna do is call up the Mandalorian and have him come over and save this shitty show. Planet. Shitty planet. So most of this week's episode kind of just retreads stuff we already knew about, but I didn't mind that much. I would have liked to have seen more about the supposed war they've been teasing though. At the end of the last episode, they said it was coming, and by the end of this week's episode, we're pretty much no further than we were before. Hopefully next week we'll finally see the start of this huge conflict. So what did you think of Chapter 4? Did you enjoy seeing the origins of Boba Fett and Fennec Shand's relationship? Let us know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, give us a like and maybe consider subscribing for more Book of Boba recaps and reviews. I'll be back next week for Chapter 5. We would be honored if you would join us. Darth Vader noise. Alright, fuck you.